back.
We're back. That's like your signature intro?
No, just when I'm doing some bullshit. So, post, because it's going to be a thumbnail. I wrote a book and my family disowned me. Okay. I feel like making this video and bringing my little brother in will be much lighter on the mental health awareness journey. So I just want to give y'all a little story time about how I wrote a book, a childhood memoir, and my family
Disowned you. Literally.
Yeah. So I wrote this book. It took me like 4 years to write this. And I started writing when I was 21. I always kept receipts. Like in this book, I have like power of attorney letters. I have my medical records. I have letters in here. I have all type of shit in here. I have poems from 2014. So I wrote this book. I really like wrote the fuck out this book. It's really good or whatever.
You should read it. Go get it now.
And so I had sent the final draft to my grandma, and she said, she called me up on the phone and she was like, girl, you really did it. This is good. You really did it. I'm like, oh shit. Because at first I was scared to even put it out because I'm thinking like, am I throwing my parents under the bus for being terrible parents? Am I exposing the truth? Am I exposing, like, am I like telling the truth or exposing it? Is there a difference?
Do I look at you or look at the camera? That's where I'm at right now.
The camera.
So I always like just look straight that way?
You can look at me when I'm talking.
That's weird, right?
I look at you.
Because like I feel like looking at the camera while you talk.
You're just wasting my time right now.
Continue. What was your question?
So, it's like telling the truth and exposing the truth.
I mean, it's just same thing.
It's just one sounds ugly.
I feel like it's more exposing because nobody knew. Telling the truth is like...
No. So here's the difference. People fucking knew. They turned a blind eye to my situation.
So exposed. You exposed. Proper word.
And I told on everybody. I fucking tell. And I did care because I was torn. I was like, fuck, like I feel bad. Like everybody's gonna know my mom was a bad mom.
You get to a point to where people need to be told on.
Everybody's gonna know my dad's a crackhead, but everybody saw that. Everybody sees both of those. So I guess I was like, I didn't want them to think the whole world knew. Because they're so self-centered around their own little selves. They don't have no idea. Now they do. And so then I had like this big family secret where I had got touched by somebody very important in my family. And I was really scared. I was scared to tell like the most important person in my life that this had happened. So basically I was scared to tell the world. And so I sent her the final draft and she said it was good. I thought it was good. And so then I published it right after. I was supposed to wait till like November to publish it. She was my grandma said it was good. I published it in September.
Okay. Right.
I was like, I can't let my fear come back and take over. Like, I know this is gonna be life changing. This is gonna save some lives. I need to put this shit up.
Girl, you really did a good thing on this book, I'm telling you. It was very, very good. Very good. Very good. You have a lot of talent to you. Yeah, a lot of talent. Don't let it go to waste. Put it on paper.
3 days later. 3 days later. 3 days later, I get a call from my grandma and she says, she starts asking me like these weird questions. But she already told me she believed me. Like, she told me like months ago when I told her that she believed me. And she told me some other weird shit about the person who touched me. I was like, oh, okay, so y'all just knew this nigga was low-key weird. That's cool though. And so 3 days later she calls me and she's like, when did this happen? Like, like just ask me questions like, bitch, I don't want to talk about this. Like, I told you when it happened. Like, when I told you when it happened. And like, so I'm like, why are you asking me all of this? And she was like, well, she said her daughter and her son wanted to know. So I just immediately got pissed. Like, it's none of their business. Like, it didn't happen to them, it happened to me. So shortly after, I texted my godfather, who's also a weirdo. And
I want to bring him up.
Yeah, later. So I ended up texting him, or I called him, but he didn't answer. So I texted him, I'm like, hey, did you ever tell your mom what happened? Because he said he was going to warn her about the book. Red flag, you're weird. Okay, like, what the fuck? Like, this is my book, this is my story.
You have to
Why
warn
do I have
anybody.
to warn anybody
Right.
about what happened to fuck to me? Like, if I wanted them to know, I would have been confided in them. Obviously, I don't trust nobody in my family to confide in them about anything that happened to me. They done seen so much shit, nothing ever. So I was like, okay. He's like, yeah, I did call her and I warned her. I said, why are they calling me? Why do they have grandma calling me, pressing me about like when, where, and why, and how? He's like, well, I just think it's because it's their dad, and so they just don't understand. Some bullshit. I don't know. So I was just so mad. Like, my uncle ended up, or my godfather ended up telling me, like, they were just worried about their father's reputation more so than
The girl that got.
More so than me getting touched.
Right.
But they were more so concerned of their dead father, who was my grandfather. And he's like my best friend too when I was younger. I love him. I used to paint his nails pink. And I used to like spend hella time with him. And then, just one day I woke up and some weird shit was happening. I don't know, whatever. And so, even after that, like, I didn't really change how I felt about my grandpa. I just like didn't sleep by that nigga. I slept by my grandma. I wore pants to bed instead of like just a regular t-shirt and panties. And yeah, like, I just maybe like back the fuck up just a little. Cause at that time I was like actually like, I don't know, maybe like
a child.
9 to 11. I can't remember because it's fucking, some things you just block the fuck out your memory.
Right.
So
hurry up, cause I want to get to this.
So I post on my page a post where I was just like, I'm writing this with tears in my eyes. But if you don't believe me, fuck you, stupid.
Right.
And so, bam. So then my aunt came and replied, which I wouldn't say I wouldn't expect it, but like, I don't expect no 70-year-old woman
To start off.
to come to my Instagram page.
And talk about.
Yeah, nonetheless, I never expected my 70-year-old aunt to come to my Instagram page and to comment on my post. She has my number. Like, as y'all know, like, I don't confide, but like, I like, like, I express myself and I keep it 100 on all my social media, in person, off person. I'll keep it 100. So I just came to Instagram. I was like, I'm writing tears in my eyes. Like, I put out this shit to help others. And my family is more concerned about somebody's reputation than me.
Who's dead?
Long gone dead.
Long gone dead.
Nigga wasn't nobody.
Literally nobody.
So I was just confused. Like,
you accused my father of molesting you.
He did.
You could have talked to me and my brother out of respect before putting in a book.
Pause. Stop. Why? And I don't respect y'all. Y'all don't respect me. I don't respect y'all.
We're not friends.
Let me just start off by saying, like, growing up, my family used to dog my parents. But I don't know if they thought I couldn't hear them, but I could hear them. So growing up, I was like, y'all are fake as fuck. Y'all are weird. Thanks for the presents. When I get old enough to understand what the fuck's going on, I'm not fucking with y'all, period. I still fucked with my aunt because she took care of my grandma. And so when I would go see her, I would pay her respects because she was a big part of my childhood. But like, my grandma would always tell me weird shit like, don't trust her. She don't like you. She's jealous of you. And of course, stupid little me, I'm like, why would she be jealous of me? This message right here, baby, will just go ahead and just throw everything out there. This is a comment for everybody else to see.
For everybody to see.
It's probably still on my fucking Instagram post.
You have ruined the memory of our dead father, and we don't get to feel pain. We don't get to question on his behalf. As an adult, you were all over him saying he loves me. That is weird.
Okay, I'm a childish ass bitch. Let's clear one thing up. I might have said like, oh, grandpa loves me more than he loves you. How many times have I told you I was your mom's favorite child?
All the time, especially after she passed. Okay, so
that's terrible.
We've been doing that.
But I'm just childish. And even when I was a child, it was a competition to me. Keep going.
Let me find it. Saying he loves you. Saying he loves me more than you, Auntie.
She's 70 years old.
You were on his lap.
I'm 25.
You were on his lap, loving on him when we were together.
Bitch, you should have corrected me and said, "Girl, get off that old nigga lap."
Right. Where were you at?
Doing? Instead, you looking at me mad because you not sitting in his lap. I don't know what was going on. T. But I don't know, but like I remember sitting in my grandpa's lap, but bitch, you best believe like by the time I was sitting in his lap, I was probably like 14 or 15, and I was sitting on his thigh. Bitch, best believe I was sitting in niggas' laps, okay? Like, I knew not to sit in the middle of my grandpa's lap. Like, I was sitting on his thigh. I took a picture that day with him and everything, like.
Your pain may be real, but so is ours. Did he molest your friends? Did he molest all the females in his family? Have your pain fix yourself if my dad was a good man?
Bitch, did he? Because you acting like it, bitch.
The money my mom gives you all the time comes from him. You could have put a family member. He is not here to defend himself.
She wanted me to keep my secret and to sugarcoat shit.
You could have fixed yourself without naming him.
The money my grandma gives me is his. Bitch, I deserve more.
Okay? She said, I have tears in my eyes too, niece.
Don't call me that, bitch. I don't know you like that, bitch.
You are not the only one hurting. Hope your book does well and you will have a good life. You know your mother is dying. You know my mother is dying, yet you put her through this.
She commented this in September. You know my mother is dying, yet you put her through this.
It's May.
Read the next message. read her message, her DM to me. Then she DMs me.
That starts off saying, you stupid bitch. You have never done anything but use my mother. Well, now she is yours. Get your ass over to Rita's and either put her in a home or take her to Texas with you. Diamond, she is all yours now. This is all your fault and I will never forgive you. She can't stay at Rita's, so get your ass over to California and take care of her.
And that's exactly what the fuck I did.
Period.
My grandma lived with me.
And that was like not even a month after. Moved in.
Everything.
Been here ever since.
Not dead.
Not dead.
Not even a little bit. So anyway, where do we go from here? So yeah,
that was the first thing.
I never replied.
We never got any response back.
Anything she said because
she's
70.
She's crazy.
She's 70.
We don't fight with the elderly.
It was just baffling, and now you're really affected over your father who is nobody.
Doing dirty stuff. In the end, it doesn't make any sense.
He did other dirty stuff that my grandma already knew about.
Right.
So I'm sure other people know about it, but whatever.
That's not the point. Your dad was not a good man.
And the fact that
and why are we even arguing about this? How is
you
this an
want to
argument?
take his, I still have no words. I'm disgusted.
Right. Which is why you didn't get no response back.
If somebody came to me and they told me my dad, if somebody wrote a book,
a whole book published.
Wait, no, pause. Not a whole book, bitch. Your father got 3 or 4 pages out my motherfucking book. Best fucking believe the whole book ain't about that. It's just one little part where I say that shit. Because I felt like I owed the truth to my grandma, and I owed the truth to every little girl who's been touched by somebody important in their family where they're afraid to tell anybody because then their aunts and their uncles and all these old ass people come and dissect and fucking try to tear you apart for somebody else's mistakes. I felt like I owed that to them. So back to whatever.
Granted, they didn't even read the book at the time.
They still ain't read my fucking book.
They still ain't even read the book.
But they dusty ass.
And they're mad.
And they're old. Anyway.
And they're old.
So say somebody wrote a book about my dad, and the little part in there is like, he robbed me. First of all, bitch, I know. Second of all, I would never be like, why wouldn't you come and talk to me about this so I could defend him? That's not my story to tell. That's not my story to defend.
And that's not for you to defend, right?
Damn, I'm sorry that happened. Can I apologize to you on behalf of my father, on behalf of me?
But you still can't.
I'm sorry that happened to you. You're not the only one. But you know, like, either way, I was just thinking, like, bitch, why would I ask you for permission?
This has nothing to do with
something that happened to me. And nobody owes me that either. So, like, this bitch or her brother wanted to write a book about what type of spoiled child I am, how I ruined their lives, and how I took their mother away from them. I'll be like, sorry. I'll read it though. Psych. I ain't reading that shit.
I'll share on Instagram. $15 off.
I'll make a long ass comment and backhand you at the end. I don't know. So it was weird. That was like the first person though.
And that was like immediate. That was a weird response, yeah. Response number 1. Okay,
and so then oh yeah. So my godfather, he was hanging on by a string. No, yeah, we are. Because he's hanging on by a string.
He's been hanging on by a string because we've been sending him this book
to help us with
to read. He's not reading.
He told me he didn't want to be a part of like the editing process, or he didn't want to be named the editor because he didn't like really see his name being attached to it. Like, you lame ass.
What does that even mean?
Who are you?
Well, your name doesn't have to be attached to it for you to actually edit it properly.
Why wouldn't you feel honored that your
be put in my book?
Your goddaughter, who told her truth and wants to break cycles, wants to include you
in a book that's supposed to help and change lives?
He he's trying to talk to me on and off. I end up I stopped replying to him because I was just like, the fact that he was trying to get me to be so understanding of these people just let me know he was a weak ass nigga. Like, he didn't really handle it like a real man should in my eyes. Like, your 70-year-old mother is acting erratic. And you have nothing to say. You're a part of the fucking problem, nigga.
Right.
He also tried to say I didn't tell him when I know for a fact I told him when I was about 14 because I had told his mom. I literally told them one after another. Like, I told her and then I got in the car with him and I told him what happened. He comes back to me and says, I don't remember you telling me. I remember, I knew because you told me at some point, but I don't remember you telling me when you were 14. Suck my dick. So, bam, that's that. He's hanging on by a thread. I'm barely replying to it. I could give a fuck about him. Next is my aunt. So my grandma had to go live with my aunt while I could figure out what the fuck I was gonna do for her. And so my little cousin ended up texting me and was like, Grandma, which is her grandma, she's like, Grandma's reading her part in your book out loud. Me and Aunt Jean, my grandma, are laughing. So by then I'm like, what the fuck is going on? Like, are y'all like? I didn't write this book for none of y'all ugly motherfuckers. I didn't write this book for nobody in my family. I wrote this for myself and for all the young women out there who are going through fucked up shit like what I went through. So I guess my aunt, she reads the part about her. So she's in my preface. It's like, well, my great aunt recently asked me what I wanted to do in life. I told her that I wanted to work with young girls at a juvenile detention center and homeless shelters. When I was finished talking, she paused and asked, what do you contribute to them?
What is that?
I knew exactly what that bitch was asking me. And I was offended and insulted. Bitch, don't ask me nothing about what I want to do if you don't really want to hear the fucking answer, stupid. So, I told her, I basically opened up, I was like, I've been sad all my life. I've been neglected by my parents. This bitch said, well, you had you had your grandma. That's not my mother and my father. So then, she ended up, basically, the bitch ended up asking me, like, I told her I was sad. She's like, well, I never seen you sad. I'm like, bitch, why would you see me sad? Like, who are you?
Right.
Who are you? Bitch, like, are you stupid?
And just because you don't see it does not mean it's not there. What a weirdo thing to say.
Weird. And so She asked me why I was still sad, and I told her because I have a personal flaw of dwelling in the past. Immediately, she became frustrated with me and said, well, why do you dwell in the past? Because you want to pity yourself? So here's the part where she reads out loud and probably is really sad that I did this. I said, no, and dash, you old white bitch. I'm fucking traumatized. Because how privileged of this bitch to just, like, not even try to understand where the fuck I'm coming from. Like, how privileged of this bitch to tell me, like,
tell you how you should feel, or how
I should feel because I had a grandma. Ooh, bitch. Ooh. Like, the same, my grandma and I had to live with her and her husband. Like, are you stupid, bitch?
Right.
So, it's like she really tried to make me feel stupid for being sad. And look what happened. You got called an old white bitch in my book. And I think she kind of asked, like, my cousin, like, do you think I'm a bitch? And, like, there's no denying it. You are a bitch. I'm a bitch. I probably get it from you. Who knows? But I would never dismiss nobody's feelings like that. Like, common fucking sense. Like,
and I think that's big on mental health.
And this has been one of the main people in my life who has talked so much shit about my parents. So it's like, bitch, everything you say to me, I take with a grain of fucking salt, bitch. Because I've heard the way you talk about the whole family when they're not around, bitch. Like, you're shady. You're shady. You throw shade. Like, when I'm not around, you talk shit about me too. Only difference is, I think you're an old white bitch. So I don't care.
And bitch, I got it published. Okay?
So she was very upset. My grandma called me and told me to say sorry. I asked my grandma if it was crack.
It was crack.
She went on. Because I didn't show her this book. I didn't show my aunt this book. Just like I didn't show my other aunt and my uncle this book. So whoever showed them, y'all should say sorry. Because I don't give a fuck.
And I find it extremely selfish that you could read a book and what you take out of it is
the one part
that's about you and your flaws. If you can't...
And mind you, the two other people, I said nothing about them. Who are they?
And bitch, you're in the preface. Like, it's nothing.
You're in the beginning.
You're in the very beginning.
You should feel honored.
And I made you, like, a motivation story. If that... You're welcome. You're bugging.
I didn't even say her name.
Okay.
So it was just weird.
They act as if it's a tell-all book. Like, you might be exposing the truth, but you're not exposing the people. That just happens.
I want to be clear on one thing.
That's collateral. Bitch, you're exposed by
accident. If it's one person I expose the fuck out of, it's my father. And I will go in order of my father, me, my first boyfriend who raped me, my mom, my grandpa, and then my Aunt Nikki, like, period. Because anything bad that happened with my Aunt Nikki, it didn't stick.
What I like to hear. And the people at the very end are the people most bitching.
The people who don't, yeah. I mean, I exposed my father the most. And when he read my book, he said it felt like I tore him a new asshole. I don't know how to take that. It sounds kind of sus to me.
No, as it should have.
I just was... First of all, I don't give a fuck what he says because he hasn't changed yet.
Correct.
So, bitch, I didn't tear shit, bitch. You just shut up. I don't know. My dad liked it, though. He just said some weird shit like that. It sounded weird, but I don't know.
It's a common term.
See, that I get this from my dad. You see, you notice how my dad was like, damn, this book was fucked up, but he's still doing all the fucked up shit he doing, and he still called me every other time. Like, I ignore him. Like, oh, yeah, because niggas don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck. Like, my mom. So my mom calls me, and she's like, where's Mars? I'm like, wait a minute, bitch. Your aunt just texted me, calling me a stupid bitch. She was like, oh, well, yeah. I'm like, oh, well, yeah. Because then my mom started getting mad that everybody was texting her like, did you know grandpa was touching her? And she didn't, because I didn't trust her to tell her. The one time I did try to tell my mom, I asked her, it was like, And to me, like, if Mars or if anybody,
your parents should know.
If anybody, not even should know, but if your kid says something and hints something to you, like, I asked her one day, I said, have you ever been molested? She said no. Have you? Okay, so that was, bitch, you got my hint.
Conversation.
I said, yeah. She said, well, in my last video, I said, not in my hands. But I think she said, well, not in my care, you didn't. Oh, okay. Never mind.
Good combo. Good talk.
Never fucking mind, weirdo.
Okay, so it's just not your fault, is what you're telling me.
So, period. So I was just like, okay. So I didn't even bother to tell her. Because I know if I told her that, she would tell my grandma. Because this bitch is one. Like, when I got pregnant with Mars, she felt the need to go run into my grandma. Like, I wasn't 20 years old, about to be a 21-year-old. It was weird. There's some weird shit's going on in my family. Like I told y'all in every fucking video. They're weird. I don't fuck with them. So I tell her, and so she's already mad. She's already pissed because everybody's coming at her about it, and she had no idea.
So she didn't know before the book came out?
What?
That you were molested?
No. I mean, I told her, yeah, that one day, and then she said, well,
and that was it.
And
you said, I'm not fucking repeating it. You'll see it in the book, dummy.
First of all, I know I'm not the only person he touched. Like, oh, how special of me to think that it would just be me.
Right.
No, it's a reason why all you stupid motherfuckers are weird.
Right.
I'm not fucking dumb. Like, it's a reason.
And why you're worried about more defending his reputation than actually fixing issues.
And so those issues can't be fixed. They can be addressed and acknowledged, and that's it. Move on. Like you said, bitch, the fixing all was up to me, and bitch, I did fix it.
She said you could fix yourself, but my father was a good man. Bitch, fixing myself is admitting he wasn't.
I love my grandpa. I don't really love him no more like that. Like, I try to have good memories about him. But the more people do shit like that, the more I be like, bitch, you know what? I'm really fucking him.
Y'all owe this man nothing. Nobody owes this man anything. Not his kids, not you. Good man, my ass.
Yeah, can you get more in the camera frame?
Good man, my ass.
And so... yes, my mom, she basically got mad. Like, she didn't tell me. Not once did she tell me. She would keep calling me to talk to Mars, but she wouldn't tell me how she really felt about the book.
Did she read it at the time?
She still ain't read it. So, more, but look, so about my mom's part, I didn't hold one thing back. But what I did do is circle it around into how much I love her for actually still just being there. Even if she did mentally, verbally, emotionally abuse me. Pick niggas over me, leave me at home by myself.
Don't get started too much. You might have to convince yourself again.
No, I actually did a full circle of positivity at the end where it's just like, you know what? I know you made mistakes, but I know you didn't have a mom either. I addressed her demons that she still hasn't addressed. And...
hey, Gina.
And, yeah, like, she still was, like, mad. I shouldn't have done that. I was being nice. Out of the kindness of my heart. Like, bitch, I really do forgive you. Just in my book, like I write, like, bitch, every time I forgive you, you do something to just remind me of why I had to forgive you in the first place. So, no matter how much good I ended her chapter off with, she didn't give a fuck. It was a why'd you tell the world the past is the past type of thing. Like, I wish your ass stepped in the past then, baby.
Okay.
So then, my ex-boyfriend, well, I for sure haven't talked to him since. He texts my brother from time to time, but I don't know what that's...
don't call me out like that.
I don't know, but I don't know. That's it. That's all I'm gonna say. I don't know what that's about, but I don't really give a fuck.
You don't have to put that on video.
Because like I said,
I'm a good brother.
Bros are for hoes. We don't care. What I'm saying though is like, I'm healed. Nonetheless, I don't care.
Okay,
I don't care.
It's above me now. It's in the book. Damn.
So okay. So who else?
I mean, I still find it funny that everybody complaining really hasn't read the book yet. Why are your friends reading the book about your daughter and not you?
So I guess we could just move on to like the last part. So my uncle, he just kept continuously.
This is the one that
emails. My Godfather.
Oh wait, no. What about the? Are we gonna do the one that was talking about grandma? The one in that video he posted.
No, but we'll do that. We'll end it with that.
That was funny too.
So my godfather, he keeps sending me these emails. He kept sending them, and I read like 2, but like he had an opportunity, and I'm a person like I was gonna give you an opportunity to take that shit, or I'm not fucking with you after. I don't care. The opportunity, like before I even was close to publishing this, to read everything in the book. So he reads it chapter by chapter and tells me what he thinks of the chapter.
This is
like I give a fuck what he
months
thinks.
Later, after book is out, we're living our best lives. We're at BJ's randomly, just going through our emails and saying he emailed it like 8
times.
Like 8 times.
I already read it, but I was grossed the fuck out because he's asking me weird shit. Like, weird shit, he had no business asking me, like, did grandpa put his fingers in you? Like, bitch, why is that your concern?
And why are you asking now?
Why do you fucking give a fuck? You tried to tell me I didn't tell you when I told you when I know I fucking told you, stupid. So it was just like, you're weird. And it felt like he was trying to redeem himself. Like him.
That's exactly what that was.
Him reaching out to me was his own redemption to make himself feel better for not fucking being there.
He needed that validation. He needed that response.
In the email, he says...
A whole lot.
of nothing.
A whole lot of nothing.
In the email, he ends up saying, like, I knew... When I saw what I saw, I knew it was bad. I just hoped it wasn't as bad as I thought. Bitch, you're the whole reason I moved to Texas, bitch, nigga. Like, what are you talking about? You knew my shit was bad. That's why you asked my Aunt Nikki to take me in.
When you say moved to Texas, because he was out here, right?
Yeah, but like he ended up, he called me downstairs at my Aunt Nikki's house and was like, if there was one place you could live, where would it be? And I could see it all in his eyes. Like I said, I could read niggas like this. If there was one place you want to live, where would it be? I said, here. I just didn't want to get. I just didn't want to get held back in 7th grade for not doing my Christmas packet. So I was like, "Fuck it, let me just make this move."
And that's all I cared about at the time.
It really was like I already got held back in fucking 4th grade because of my mom. So I was like, "Let me just get the fuck out of LA and just start this shit over." I knew in 7th grade. It's like, let me start over somewhere. So the fact that he was the whole reason I moved to Texas because he knew something was fucked up out there, and then to renege. Then to tell me in the email my mom had a worse childhood than me.
And then he got mad about how you were talking about grandma. Not grandma, but grandma.
He got what?
What's her name?
I don't know. Then he tried to go off on me about my grandmother.
That's what I'm
and say how she was obnoxious and loud and how she was really mean to my mom. Like,
not Jean.
She's a fucking heroin addict, bitch. What are we expecting her to be a heroin addict and be rosy posy? Do y'all ever ask why she started doing heroin? Was it might have because maybe somebody fucking touched her? I don't fucking know. I wasn't there. I'm too fucking young. But spirit speaks to a real bitch, okay? So I was like, why are you trying to go so in on my grandma, which is my great grandma's daughter, when your mama just hit my grandma? And just DM me saying, you stupid bitch, da-da-da-da. Like, you got too much dip on your chip, boss. Watch who you talking to and watch who you talking about.
Okay.
Because the fact that he really tried to go in on my grandma who was an addict.
In an email, like, you have no room to talk at this point.
You don't want to be nothing like her. Bitch, shut up. I don't want to be nothing like you, your mama, nobody. I love his daddy, so we'll leave his daddy out. But the mama is weird. He's weird. Then he says, so basically he says, like, my childhood wasn't that bad because it's nothing compared to my mama's. I don't give a fuck if that bitch got burnt, bitch. My shit was terrible. That shit burnt me, okay? What the fuck is you talking about? And, like, what he doesn't acknowledge is that it was her responsibility to heal herself. So I didn't have a fucked up childhood. Instead, it's, you know, you just don't know what your mom went through. I don't give a fuck, nigga. You making me not give a fuck. And I done did a whole fucking chapter on this bitch about how I give a fuck about what she went through. But you throwing it in my motherfucking face as if my shit does not even compare. Like there's supposed to be a comparison.
Right. That's
where y'all fuck up. That's why y'all are weird.
Everybody's response was weird on this. Family-wise. And
so, damn, so he ends up... Oh, wait, it was like one more weird part in there.
There was like 18.
He told me I was bitter. I've never been more at peace. Like, I got to tell my truth, expose my truth. my family disowned me, but jokes on them. I never fucked with them. He said I was bitter because I wasn't replying to him, basically, because I changed my number on these old hoes.
He said something about the tone in your book is very...
Oh, and the fact that I called my grandpa old nasty nigga.
Which he was.
Yeah.
Literally.
It is what it is. Fuck. It was just a poem. Really, like, I'm talking to all you old nasty niggas who touch on little girls. Bitch, not just one.
Okay.
So it's just like, I'm bitter. Bitch, well, let me be bitter then. Like, because I'm good with where I'm at. Like, y'all don't have my number. You have to contact me through an email.
An old one at that.
I want to have to go and check.
Go check.
Like, it doesn't
the
notify
notifications
me.
don't pop up, bitch.
I also sense you're bitter. Like, let me be bitter, bitch. I'd rather be bitter than fake as fuck.
If that's what you get from reading the book, like just a sense of bitterness, you didn't read the book.
And you're guilty. And so, I mean, and then just recently.
Bonus.
My mom's little brother made this video. I can't wait to put it on the screen.
Y'all, this is No Chill, man. Y'all know me as No Chill with right now. I'm fucking regular Geo right now, yo. So I got a fucking dilemma right now, and I'm pissed the fuck off. And I gotta go the fuck off. My niece, my stupid ass niece.
Or he's like,
Y'all, I'm sorry. I can do it.
my niece.
Yo, I'm sorry, y'all. Y'all know who it is. Just AKA.
He gives himself 3 introductions.
AKA. And my stupid niece.
My stupid ass niece. He still has the white on his lips.
We're petty. We're
I'm just so mad that he called me his niece at this point, because it's like, I don't know you.
My niece. My stupid ass niece.
Who are we talking about?
I don't know.
You said the content of the video. We're just talking shit at this point.
I don't even know you. Like, I'm gonna put the video on the screen, but like, obviously my family feels some type of way about me being truthful and trying to help everyone.
Where was all this concern though when it was actually happening? And you can't tell me that none of y'all knew Diamond had issues.
They knew, because I
Y'all knew.
have big ass scars on my arms saying I hate myself, bitch. Like, so it's just my family is like one of those families, like they smile and they sweep shit under the rug. Gotcha, bitch. Not me. Oh no, bitch. Now I'm really smiling and ain't shit underneath no rug.
Period.
So yeah, I mean, it kind of hurt my feelings at first that I was called a stupid bitch by a 70-year-old in my Insta DM.
On Instagram.
But I'm not that stupid bitch, because a stupid bitch can't write all these pages. So
and that's a petty fact.
Jokes on you too, bitch. Like, and
tying it into mental health, I think it's huge that
don't let your family scare you and make you feel bad for telling the truth.
Exactly.
They'll disown you, and because did they fuck with you from the beginning? No.
And the family was the main issue when it comes to the mental health anyway. They're the ones that caused it, so of course they're not gonna help it.
Yeah, and they have their own mental health issues, obviously. What type of 70-year-olds in my DMs calling me a stupid bitch? I digress. Like, there's nothing more to say. I have no idea why my uncle made that video about me, FYI, because we completely
He wanted to be friends. He
really wants to be at this point, it's like my family's no different from
fans.
Yeah, like, y'all want to be my friend. I don't fuck with y'all, not even a little bit. I gave my mom chance after chance. I'm done with that.
You even blocked the family that was texting you talking about...
I blocked my family a long time ago because they pulled some bullshit with me and Josh when we came to my little cousin's graduation, and they didn't want us to stay at their house. Bitch, you thought I wasn't gonna call you an old white bitch in my book? You old white bitch. You didn't want me and my brother to stay in your house? Like we robbed and steal? Like we crackheads, bitch? Like, nobody wants to stay in your motherfucking house anyway and be fake with you. And that's the thing. I've had to be fake with my family.
All your life.
Yeah, all my fucking life. And I don't find joy. Like Josh, he gets like a little joy out of, like, he just loves it. Like,
I love it. I'm a fake ass bitch.
Yeah.
I'm a fake ass bitch and I'm good at it.
Me?
Complete opposite.
I don't like you.
Yeah.
I don't like you, and I don't like you, and I don't like you, and I haven't liked you. I was like on and off with liking my family because I was trying to see the positive in them, and then like, of course, that ugly white shit just comes all the way out all the time, and so it's just like, ugh, like I can't pretend to fuck with y'all ever. Y'all are weird and creepy, and like, I'm sorry.
It shows every opportunity you get.
It does every time.
And
even like they're hella judgmental and like so you can't be ugly and judgmental. Like, and they're ugly.
They're ugly too. They're like genuinely ugly.
Like,
they're not as good looking as us.
No,
they're not as good looking as us. I promise.
There are too few shades lighter. Okay. And that's on that. But so like, moral of the story is, I wrote a book, and my family
disowned you.
Hated every truth I put in there.
Every word of it. Didn't even read the book.
Wasn't even about them.
It hated every sense of it. That's hilarious.
So I just want y'all to know, if y'all tell y'all story and y'all are afraid because y'all family are weirdos, you're not alone.
2020. Drop their ass. And don't look back. Love them from a distance. Far.